Well, Ant-Man's power might be shrinking, but the box office is not where they want that power to work. Let's talk about weekend 3 for Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania and why, quite honestly, the movie itself is not looking too great. Well, to be fair, Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania really did have a strong opening, but by the second weekend it suffered the second biggest drop in Marvel Cinematic Universe history. We knew the third weekend was going to be a really hard sell with Creed 3 being released, and now that the numbers are in, things are not looking so great. Over the weekend, Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania only took in about $12 million and had an additional 61% decline from their previous weekend. Now, lots of films would be happy with a $12 million week 3, but as it stands right now, Ant-Man 3 could finish its global run under $500 million and make it the lowest earner in the franchise history. Additionally, at least right now, it sits under $200 million domestically. And quite honestly, box office breakdowns vary from country to country, but there is no place a film does better than at the North American box office. That's where they need the film to shine, and that is where the film has suffered the most. Now, I do see a lot of analysts trying to put a bit of a positive spin on some of these numbers, but let's be real, we simply can't get away from the fact that the performance for this film is not so great. Usually big studio blockbusters tend to be a bit critic-proof, but recently that has not been the case for MCU films, and I do believe the negative reviews, along with some poor word of mouth, is finally impacting ticket sales. I also believe ticket sales for Marvel Studios are being impacted by the absolute deluge of new content. Marvel fans have been drinking from the fire hose for about a year and a half, and I do think due to the frequency of new content, it's taken a bit of the shine and expectation off of what's coming and caused some fans to turn away. Now, I do suspect Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania will stick around in theaters for a couple more weeks. I do believe it will surpass $200 million domestically and more than likely finish up at about $550 million internationally, slightly beating the first Ant-Man movie but falling short of the second. Now, obviously, Ant-Man's coming back. You saw how the end of that movie worked, and where he shows up next, we're going to have to wait and see. I think the most important thing about this movie, establishing Kang the Conqueror, really did work, and Marvel did seed these future ideas that are going to be important in Phase 5 and Phase 6. I am concerned, due to the lack of response to this movie, that some of those seeds simply won't get enough water to grow into the event film that many fans are expecting out of Kang Dynasty, and more importantly, Secret Wars. Now, we've talked many times about how Marvel is correcting the ship behind the scenes, slowing down production, and focusing on quality over quantity. The most recent delay to the Marvels, I think, will be the first project that we really see that start to take effect, and it'll probably be closer to the end of the year before we finally know what they're doing behind the scenes. James Gunn's Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 looks like it's holding up just fine. But Marvel Studios clearly needs to turn the buzz around on a lot of their projects, or some of these future, highly expensive tentpole films could be in serious trouble, and you could see some massive turnarounds at Marvel Studios, which would be completely unexpected considering how great the first 3 phases did. We're going to obviously keep watching what's going on with Marvel and the Quantumania box office. I do hope for the best, and really do believe it'll break $500 million, but we'll have to wait and see.